Welcome back to Algo Trading series using PineScript and TradingView from MarketSecrets. In this episode, we are going to learn how to use ATR indicator. Before we get started with today's session, MarketSecrets is proud to announce the launch of Algo Traders Program ATP, where we will train people to create and deploy algo trading bots with end-to-end setup. If you are someone who wants to take up algo trading, it will be a perfect place for you to start. I'll leave the link to the details of the ATP program in the description section of this video. So if you are interested, contact us. And with that note, let's jump into today's session on ATR indicator. Almost every complex trading script on the planet uses ATR indicator's value to make its calculations in some way or another. In today's PineScript session, we are going to learn how to create ATR trailing stop loss indicator to demonstrate how to use it in our custom scripts. By using built-in ATR function, we can actually get the current ATR value and use it to form our base script. And then we can make some modifications to it to calculate the stop loss and targets. And also we need to adjust it for volatility or anything else you would normally do with an ATR indicator in your strategies. So basically you take the ATR indicator, perform some calculations to arrive at the target and stop loss. And if you want to do any adjustment, you can do that as well. But before we move forward, I'd like to highlight that each of these sessions, right, each of these episodes is built based on the previous episodes. So if there are any concepts or lines of code in this particular episode that you don't understand, then please go through the previous episodes to understand it. And if you are unfamiliar with the ATR indicator or the ways it can be used to enhance your trading strategies, then you can check out our trading strategy playlist to understand its significance. And with that note, let's jump into coding. So let's open the scripting window, add version equal to 4, and I'm going to create a study ATR indicator. And this is going to be overlay. So I want it to be on the same chart. I don't want it to be a separate item. So overlay equal to true. Now the first step in working with ATR in PineScript is to simply retrieve the current value of ATR. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, PineScript is an amazing coding language, and we can achieve this by using just one single line of code. So ATR equal to ATR of ATR length. So I am not assigning ATR length directly. I'm actually assigning it to a variable. So by default ATR indicator looks back 14 bars to calculate its values. So we can even assign default value of ATR length to 14. And the best practice is to allow your script to be modified in the UI by the users. So that's the best practice. The user should be able to adjust these settings or preferences from the settings menu itself. So we are going to use the input function to determine the ATR length. So to get this ATR length right, I'm going to use ATR length length equal to. So I'm going to use an input function to get the value. So it needs a title. So we have seen this in detail earlier, but if you are not sure, go back to previous episodes why we are using this. Okay, so ATR length, it's the title of that particular parameter, and the type of the input would be integer. And like I mentioned earlier, default value can be 14, and you can give minimum value as well, can be 1. So this will create a parameter in the UI where we can actually change the ATR values. Okay, that's the purpose of this script. So since we need a whole number here, we are giving the integer as the type, because we need to give how many candles we need to go back. So float won't be the right value. So now I'm going to just bring this line below because it needs ATR length. The second line needs ATR length, so I'm bringing it below. Now, blindly getting ATR value won't serve any purpose. Okay, you need to use it with the M multiplier. That is how it's generally used. So generally, ATR in itself is not a big deal. Most strategies and scripts will require an ATR multiplier in their calculations because not everyone uses one ATR by default. Okay, so for their stop loss and placements, they generally use a multiplier. But before we can add a multiplier to this code, we need to create an ATR multiplier input that gets floating decimal number from a user. So like this one, right? We need to create another input parameter. Okay, so I'm going to call it as ATR multiplier. So changing the title as multiplier, and I'm going to use the value as float here, and default value can be 1.0 and minimum value can be 0.1. Now we have a multiplier. Here I have used float because we need a floating point value. Multiplier can be a float. It can be 0.5, 1.5, 2.5 as well. So half ATR multipliers is something people will use. So that's why we are using float, and default value is 1 and minimum value is set to 0.1. Okay. Since we have both the ATR and its multiplier now, we can actually calculate the trailing stop losses using this particular value. Long stop loss to get the stop loss, trailing stop loss for the long side. So it can be closing price minus ATR value into ATR multiplier. So this will give us the long stop loss. Likewise, for the short side trailing stop loss, you can use the ATR closing price plus. So now we have this trailing stop losses calculated. Now you need to plot it. Plot long stop loss and plot short stop loss. So these two lines of code will actually plot our trailing stop losses for both the long positions and short positions. Okay. So now we have everything. So all we have to do is you just have to save the script and click on add to chart. Once you do that, this ATR trailing stop loss for both long and short side will be plotted. It will mostly look like a Bollinger Band. Okay, so now you can go to the setting to modify the values from here. That is the magic of this input parameter. It will help you to set up the values from here. So here we have given 14 as the ATR length and multiplier as 1. So if you want, you can give the multiplier as some other value. So if you change, right, automatically it's changing. So you're seeing it in the background, right? So this is the beauty of this input parameter. So I've set it as 2. I'm seeing that trailing stop loss for both long and short sides as a band here. So that's how you need to use the ATR indicator. ATR indicator, most people will use it to set the targets and stop losses because it's one of the critical value that we have in trading. So if you are using ATR indicator, you can directly plot it in your chart, and the moment the price hits the ATR indicator, you can consider trailing your stop loss, or you can even consider exiting your position, and same can be used for exiting the position as a stop loss as well. So it can serve as your stop loss, it can serve as your target, it can serve as your trailing stop loss. It can be used in n number of ways. So we even use it in few of the setups that we have already seen. So this is a beautiful indicator that everyone should be aware of, because ATR, that is average true range, is a very critical parameter when it comes to trading. So with this, we have completed our the trailing stop loss indicator here. If you have any queries, comments, or feedback about this episode, leave it down in the comment section. I'll be happy to address it. Also hit the like button if you have liked this video, and share it with your friends if you find it useful. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video or conduct a live session. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.